Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. How is everybody doing? 6 minutes late, and I'm a student in learning, and trying to get these skills is not easy. So if you're coming in and you're finding me for the first time, please say hello and share this video so we can all learn together. I was talking to my son Dylan, and then of course, I lost track of time. You know how that is. When your child calls you who you've not heard for some days, you just take that minute to talk. Before you know it, time is up. So share this video as you come in. This particular broadcast, we created it to talk about wellness. Every Friday we come here at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we just try to create awareness together. Some days we are going to talk about actual things that we are doing. And last week we talked about our finances. And today we want to talk about community inclusion or relationships, local communities where we live, like what kind of relationships we have. Because part of the relationships that you have with the people where you live is going to determine your health. Because some of us, since COVID came, we are living in isolation, and we've done this unconsciously, and nobody's paying attention until some of you have ended up in hospitals, or some of you are totally like drained in depression because you disconnected yourself from a community given the COVID situation, or you went through a divorce, or you went through some kind of something happened to you and you broke away from your community. So we want to talk about that today. And as I said, if you're finding me for the first time, please go to the page and share this video. I would appreciate your support, and everyone who's been supportive. I cannot thank you guys enough for taking time to share these videos, for taking time to even sit in and listen. I try to make the videos as short as possible, but sometimes it's not possible because you're doing so many things, and you end up making the video long. So again, welcome to our broadcast, and please share this video if you can. Greet me. Let's have a nice interaction, so I'm not the only one talking, because I can see your comments, so we can all chime in. So today I want to talk about community inclusion and how it affects your wellness. In my tribe, the Kisi tribe, we have a saying that says that one finger cannot kill a jigger. When you remove a jigger from your feet, you need to kill it so you can crush the head. So the Kisi people say that if you don't have another finger, you're not going to kill that jigger. Number two, the Bible tells us to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. The reason why the Bible commands us to love our neighbors, it's because your neighbor can help you put a fire off at your house. If your house catches fire, somebody in Kenya is not going to come and put the fire out. If your house burnt out today, like late in the night tonight, you won't go and start moving to Kenya. You get a flight, all these things. I'm not going to be able to go till Nyandochebere, but my neighbor who's down the street is able to help me and host me. And that's why the Bible commands us to love our neighbors. And in many cases, the neighbor is not somebody who lives next door. If you're married, the neighbor is your spouse. If you have children, the neighbor is your children. It is the people that you see on a regular basis. In our African community, we have a tendency, or we usually come together in times of sadness. We have a habit, or rather, that's how culturally it's tailored, that we come together when somebody has died. So Africans kind of tend to meet when something bad has happened. That is how most African communities are brought together. in times of crisis, something has happened, we are brought together. I'm told, like during my father's time, which is many years ago, that my father used to throw parties and invite everybody for people to come and dance. And he was one rare person. That was not something that was common. And it's because he had gained financial success. And every now and then he'll throw these big parties, I'm told. So that created that community where people were just coming to dance for nothing. So when we talk about community inclusion, the one thing that most of us don't do, we are not aware. A lot of us are not aware that we are not part of the community. We are disconnected, that we think we are in a community and we're not, given the social media. Social media is going to make you feel like you're part of a community. Yes, you are part of a social media community, but there is local communities where you live. When we started our groups, for the Kisi groups, we started local global groups, meaning in New Jersey, we have a Kisi group. In Maryland, there's a Kisi women group. All the states, all the countries, India, Brazil, anywhere where there is a Kisi woman, we started those local groups, and we were able to create links where these people could come in and try to network. And for me, when I went to Scotland, I just clicked on the link to, in Scotland, and I found Kisi women there. In UK, there's a local UK Kisi group. When I get there, I just click that link and I get to the group and I tell them I'm here. Hi, is everyone? And that was such an amazing thing, because you can literally get help anywhere where you want. In America, we have 50 WhatsApp groups for Kisi women. And you can go to any state and you find that group is existing. What we were trying to do was to create awareness, to tell people that, you know what, where you live, there are people who speak Ekewusi and they're nearby. And we successfully achieved that goal, where we are able to bring people together. We need to come into terms that we are not connected. Some of us are in denial because of social media. You're thinking you're part of a community. You're not part of a community. Once you accept that you're not a part of a community, you need to take action. Find out who's around you. Even if it is Americans, join an American community, whatever community that you're in. We have like skating places, we have eating places, we have dancing halls. Whichever community you're in, you're not necessarily looking for your fellow Kenyans or fellow Africans or Americans, but you're part of the community. Even your neighbors, they have those things where they're saying, let's do a block party. That's the day you're deciding to go to work. You're not there. So take action. Okay? And assess yourself and ask yourself, are you a part of a community? Okay? If you start paying attention to your life, you will know whether you are part of a community or you're not. I know so many Kenyans living in the USA that have said these words to me, and most of them probably will not be watching me because they don't care about Kenyans. They always say, I don't like Kenyans. I do not care about Kenyans. One woman who is highly successful, not one, several people who are highly successful and work for reputable companies have said to me they don't want Kenyans at their places of work. They're not going to refer anybody at their place of work, because who wants these Kenyans who are just going to come and be mannerless? That time when these people are speaking this way, they feel that they don't need a community. And when they say that, they are at their highest, they are doing very well. And because of fear of their success, because of fear of some of the things that people think it's witchcraft, some people think there are many reasons why people are kept away from the community. They start thinking that these people are not happy for them. I just wanted to share this for a minute. Give me a minute. I forgot to share this. Okay. They forget that one of these fine days they are going to need these people. And then we have these people that we call community organizers. These are people who've taken their time when something bad has happened, there's a crisis. These people come and try to help these people. The community leaders, most of them are not discriminative. When something happens, they just come in and say, you know what, how can we help? Okay? When you're thinking that you don't need anyone, these people come and say, you know what, we are going to help Penny. We have, every community has their leaders who are going to say, you know what, whether Penny was part of the community, we are just going to help. These people, when they are saying this, they don't think that one of these fine days they are going to need help. They keep themselves away from the community until things go wrong. We are 100% responsible of the choices that we make in any community that we live. If you feel like Kenyans are not adding any value to your life, think about it. When in need, are you going to come to these Kenyans and ask them to help you? Okay? Some people feel like Penny is not on my level, because what happens in a community, some people are highly successful, some people are not successful, some people can be renting a room in a nice rich neighborhood, some people are engineers, some people are doctors, some people are housekeepers. When you live in a community, you're all brought together as people who live in West Hampton. But there are people who feel like they don't belong in this community because they are likely feeling like they are making more money, or they are more professionals, or they are this and that. But if their house starts burning down and the janitor that lives down the street and saves them, are they going to have a different opinion? Some people feel like a group of community is not worth it, where you're going to say that, you know what, it's not worth it to be in the Kenyan community. And you're saying that because at that time, you don't need them. You don't see ahead that a time is going to come when you're going to need these people. Some people buy things and services, so they feel like they don't need people. There comes a time when money is not going to buy you certain things. Money can buy things, but money can only buy so much. And when you make these statements, let me tell you, human beings are not forgiving. We try to come out like we are forgiving, but we are not forgiving. People will remember what you said. So when you're in crisis, if you're sick, you're diagnosed with a long-term disease that is going to eat out all your savings, that is going to eat out all the things that the money that you had put away. Your job is no longer there. Your health insurance has been cancelled. And you remember you used to be an executive of a country, of an organization. You can lose everything. You can buy all these things and lose everything. We need to understand that we do not have a choice but to be a part of the community, because everybody has an opinion about something. When everybody has an opinion about something, whatever people's opinions are should not keep you away from the community, because the way God created us so we can support one another. If you're thinking that at one time you're going to make it alone, you're not going to make it alone. We are part of a community. If a fire starts coming down right now, it's going to wipe down all these houses down. You will not say that, you know what, this person was this way, so the fire won't go there. Some of us choose to distance ourselves from other people because we dislike their ways, which is fine. But find out how you distancing yourself. Are you distancing yourself when everybody needs help? You're just in your house. Are you distancing yourself? Somebody's in a crisis, you don't want to help. If your child is stuck in school, who are you going to call? Is it that social media friend? No. Is it that brother and sister of yours who's in Kenya? No. Is it that friend that you have in California? No. If something has happened to your child in school, if you have children, and you need someone to go pick the child, you're not going to ask somebody who is in Ghana or who's in Jamaica to come and pick your child, as much as you've been interacting. It is the person that lives next to you that you're going to say that, you know what, so and so, please go help my child. Some problems can only be solved in our local communities. Some problems are not to be solved through social media platforms, like putting a fire out. You cannot put a fire out from California. There are some problems that are called land-based problems, where you live. Those problems are like locally land, not by air. They are problems you cannot solve on social media. Problems that are to be solved right on the ground. Online friendship is very good. We can bring people together, we can raise money, we can use our phones and text and collect money. But there are problems that are in our communities that can only be solved locally. If you don't feel like being a part of your community, your local community, you just have to force yourself. Because you know what? Someday you're going to need this community. You don't know how. Kemto, how are you? You do not know how you're going to need your community. Local community, where the Bible says, love your neighbor, how you love yourself. You cannot live in fear of the people that live close to you, because these are the people that are coming to save you. These are the people that are coming to put your house, to pour water on your house when your house is on fire. These are the people, if you're falling, I just want to even imagine. In fact, I put myself in a swim class 2 years ago, and I went back again this week. It's 8 of us. All of us are Black students. That tells you something in Black America. 8 of us in that beginners class are Black people, adults in our 40s and 50s. There's one in their 20s. And we are swimming. We are learning how to swim. We have two. The first day we had one instructor. On Tuesday we had 2 instructors. And then the third week, this was the third week. The first week we had one instructor who didn't know what he was doing. The second time we had an instructor with the 8 of us. The third class, they split us in 2 groups because they found out that this big group was so big for just that one instructor to manage. Please, guys, when you come in, share this video. And you know, we are learning. In my class, the class for beginners, I'm like the best swimmer. I'm doing like all the flips. I'm doing everything because I have the experience. I've been in a class before. I want to ask you a question. Think about you drowning. If you had to drown, okay? If you were drowning in that class, think about it. You go to a pool, you go to a pond, and you fall in water, and the water is 6 feet deep. And your neighbor, the people that I'm in class with, know how to swim. Or rather, they have an idea, like in my class, when these people are falling in water, I'm helping them because I can actually float, and I can actually even swim to move from point A to B. I got that concept after taking the class. If that's the only person that is going to remove you from water, from drowning, are you going to say, I don't want anything to do with Kenyans? Are you going to say, I don't want anything to do with Americans? Are you going to say, I don't want anything to do with Hispanics? And they're the people who are right next to you when you're drowning. We are afraid of people in our local community. And these are the most important people in your health and wellness, the way you relate in your community. Let me tell you, the reason the Bible says for you to love your neighbor, it is not easy to build good relationships with the people that you live with. Because these people, you are in conflict constantly. But the people that you don't live close by, you interact once in a while, they are happy to see you and they're gone. But the people that are in local, we call them land-based communities, they're going to rub you the wrong way. They're going to say the wrong thing. But if you're drowning, and they're the only people who can pull you out of the water, you're not going to hesitate to tell them, please pull me out, because they are right there next to you. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Community inclusion. Locally where you are. What are some of the things that enable us to create communities? Hey, Brandon. Housing. A community is created from where we live. When you buy a house or when you rent a house in an apartment complex, they have created, most of them have created a rec room. Housing, where we are staying, okay? You're going to create a community where you live. So you have to wake up and make a conscious decision in your area to know your neighbors. That is almost the first way to be a part of the community. Stop, take a minute, say hello to your neighbor. Because you could be leaving your house. They say heart attacks happen on Monday morning from 10 a.m., from 8 a.m. to 10. Heart attacks because people have anxiety. You're leaving your house. Some neighbors watch you. I want you to know. You don't watch them, but they watch you. You're leaving your house. As you step out, you feel your chest and you fall. What are you going to do? You can't pick the phone. Your phone fell. As you fell, the phone fell. It is your neighbors that are constantly looking at you, leaving every morning. They are neighbors that know your routine. Their neighbors know the time you leave, the time you come back. If you fall, those neighbors will call 911 for you. If they don't, they'll come and help you. The second place is where you work. At your place of work, you can create a community. Where I work, we have a team of 6. I think we are 6 or 7. And let me tell you, this team I'm in right now at work, I love the team. We're in housekeeping. This team is amazing. They are the reason I wake up and just go to work. They make my day. They always have something to say about me, and I'm always looking forward to hear what they're going to say. They call me the laziest, and that's the title. And my job in that team is to rank them. I'm always ranking them. Every few days I have to rank, and then I see where I can put myself. Every day I want to put myself like number 2, number 3, but they all want to come into conclusion that I'm the lowest on the food chain. Hey, their opinion, my opinion, I rank them. I know who does the best, who's always on point, who does this, and we just thrive on that almost every day. That team, some days I carry my lunch and they tell me, put that shit away, the Kenyan shit away. Today we're going to eat American food, and one person will offer lunch and buy lunch for all of us. It's an amazing team. I'm working with a dream team. I was planning to quit the job, but it's getting better. And we have a supervisor that has already accepted our team and how we are running the team. It makes you look forward to go to work. So the second place you're going to have this community, land community, is your place of work, because you go there. Make sure you're in good terms with your co-workers. Why? Because when you make a mistake at your place of work, that's where you're earning from. They will cover for you. When you're having a bad day, they'll cover for you. Now, for me, for my team, when I go and I'm having cramps, I really have bad cramping. Like I feel sick. In fact, I've been trying to get to talk about fibroids and having bad cramping. When I start my periods, even before they come, I'm sick. So my team knows. When I get in and say no today, they're like, oh, there comes Penny again with this shit of her period every month. And every month they know. And guess what? They actually know I'm not feeling well. And I have a doctor in the team. If I didn't bring my medication, one of my team members is my doctor. She always has something for me, either Tylenol or ibuprofen, because sometimes you're just caught unaware. I have never mastered this period thing. So she's always looking out for me. And the other ones are like, oh yeah, they look out for me. They know. I have a community at my place of work. You're going to create a land community where you work. Even if you're working online, have a good relationship where something is not right, somebody is going to cover for you. The other place we can create a community is the friends. We don't choose our family members, but we choose our friends. Create a community of friends by selecting who you want to be your friend. Because you know what, when you're in crisis, you know you can call the lawyer. When you're in crisis, you can call the doctor. When you're in crisis, you can call the nurse. When you're in crisis, you can call a housekeeper. When you're in crisis, you can call somebody who can fix a house. Meaning, be intentional, take action, like we have said, after you've assessed your situation, to know that you don't have that network. Create a friendship list where you know you can call this friend for this and for that and that. If you need vegetables, you're going to call me. If you need eggs, you're going to call me. If you need someone to talk to you, you're going to call me. But have that nurse, have that doctor. You look for them. Look at your situation. I don't know why I can't say this word. Assess. It's called assessment. Assess yourself. Even take a pen and paper. Write a list of your friends. And look what community have you created with the friends, the kind of friends you have. I have friends that work for, I have a HR. My friend Becky works for HR. When I'm in crisis for HR, oh, I'm calling. My friend Lorna is a nurse. Oops. BSN, I'm covered. I have a lawyer. Gladys Micheka is my Kenyan lawyer. She's right here. She has all the answers. And most of these people, I'm getting free advice. I have a doctor. I don't want to give all my people. You guys might take some of my people. They are my friends and they are my people. They are professionals. And guess what? They've kept me as a friend. Because what do I offer them anyway? Laughter. I'm just always, in fact, I think that's all I have to offer. Nothing. I'm just happy camper. I'm offering happiness. When they're stressed with their jobs or whatever, me, I'm there to just listen and laugh, right? There's something I'm offering and they're willing to be my friend. So create that network. The next way you can create your community is through education, higher learning. Hey, let me tell you guys, I was telling my daughter yesterday, you know, I might not have a PhD. I don't even have a bachelor's degree. The most I have is equivalent to an associate, a diploma, where you take these online courses for 2 years. But I try as much as I can to educate myself. If I meet a lawyer today and they're talking about whatever, I totally understand it. If I'm talking to a doctor, I totally get it. If I'm talking to an artist, in fact, I can sit and talk to anybody because I'm knowledgeable of all these things. I try. So higher learning, educating yourself about certain things will give you a community of higher learners. Doctors have their own groups. Nurses have their own groups. HR people have their own groups. They are called communities. They might not put you there, but you will have a friend that is there that will connect you. So education is another way for you to do your community inclusion. Take learning as something that can bring you together. Like now, this is a community. We are here learning together. The other thing is health and wellness. That is where I come in. I'm not a certified health coach in wellness. I want to be certified, so I'm going to take a class for that. When you talk about your health, it's going to put you in a place where you're going to find yourself in a gym, in a fitness center, where you're going to get yourself in a place where people are talking about health and wellness. Taking walks, taking your supplements, eating well, planning your meals. When it comes to your health and wellness, if you're interested on how your body works, you're going to create a community. Right now, we have the Juice Plus community. In this community, what we do, we meet once a week and we hear people's stories. Some who are still struggling, some who are starting, some who are succeeding. Your health and wellness is going to enable you to create a community. The next one is religion and spirituality, where you live. If you go to a church, any church, they will welcome you. If you go to a mosque, they will welcome you. If you go to the sick, any organized religion takes strangers. And when they take a stranger, they're going to embrace you and they will welcome you. Join a religious organized activity. Like my church always has barbecues and they are open to everybody. They have plays. Most religious locations or places have an open policy. They don't limit you. They will tell you come. The mosque, the Muslims, every Friday they are going to pray. The Christians go to church on Saturday and Sunday. Join a religious community in your area. That is going to help you to be a part of that community. You see, when things go bad, we all turn to the church. Don't wait until things are bad to talk to your neighbors, to be nice to your co-workers, to create good friends, right? To learn something, educate yourself, to join a church. Don't wait. The next one is family. That one I have to drink to it. We don't choose our families. We are born into families. And when you're born into families, sometimes we have all these conflicts, and some of us remove ourselves from our families. When you remove yourself from your family, you can feel empty. I know so many of you who have literally cut your family off. Family is where you begin life. Family is where you end your life. Unfortunately, most of the challenges that we face come from our families. But family is where we create communities. Family is where we raise our children. Family is where we start life. Before you become who you want to become and move away, you start with your family. So try as much as you can to stay as close as you can with your family by learning how to resolve conflicts in your family. You don't always have to solve conflict through the court system. You don't always have to solve conflict by getting drunk and abusing. You don't always have to solve conflict by saying all hurtful things. I have seen some of these things in my family, and I came to a conclusion that some family members, I can't deal with them because I don't understand where they are. I don't need to understand. It's too much energy, but you can create a community within the family where you're born and raised by learning how to solve conflict and minding your business, not saying hurtful things, not just being ungrateful. A lot of family members are very ungrateful, and it doesn't make it a very good community when you have families who are always taking away from you, but they have nothing good to say about you. So with time, you just disconnect from them. The other one is romance. This is the most painful. Romantic relationships. That is how we start families. Some of us are with people that do not want us. Some of us are in relationships that have lost value. Some of us are in relationships that we know there's nothing. They don't add value to our lives. If anything, they're putting us down. We continue to stay in those relationships, hoping that one day things are going to get better. Things really never get better. Things get worse. If anything, you get worse, and eventually you start abusing alcohol, you start abusing drugs, you start getting a high from somewhere. Relationships, romantic relationships, is where we build communities from. You meet a stranger, they like you, you look at each other, they like you, you exchange numbers. The next thing you know, and you know that thing really puzzles me, the next thing you know, you're holding hands. The next thing you know, you have all these children. How are we getting in these relationships? Are we taking time? We are not taking time. Some of us are rushing into unhealthy relationships. And when you're in a healthy relationships, you're a hurt person, hurt people, hurt others. So we are not going to have a good community when you are in a relationship with someone that doesn't like you and you don't like them. You can't be a team. If somebody doesn't like you, you cannot communicate. If somebody doesn't like you, you cannot solve conflict. If somebody that you want to be romantic with doesn't want to be romantic, you're not going anywhere with that person. What is failing communities is failed romantic relationships. And we don't take that serious, but it is the bottom line of all the problems we have in the society. Because we are not able to fix it from the house with our neighbors, so we take it out in the community. If you can't fix yourself from within, you're not able to do it out there. So when your romantic relationship is going down, you just become defiant now. You don't want to be a part of that community. You're just everywhere because one relationship ended badly that was a total stranger. By the way, this person was a total stranger. We try to create things that bring the communities together. Sometimes, we can call people at the park. Sometimes we do birthday parties. We do all these things to bring people together. And what I challenge people to do is to bring people together without waiting for something bad to happen for us to come together. We should try to come together by building good relationships. You cannot be part of a community when you cannot learn how to resolve your conflicts, which is the biggest challenge that we have. We are not able to resolve our conflicts starting from your romantic relationship to your children, to your mother, to your father, to your sisters, to your brothers, to your co-workers, to your neighbors. I saw a video in Pennsylvania where the neighbor shot the other neighbor. You don't like your neighbor. You cannot succeed if you don't like your neighbor. If you don't like your husband, you're not going anywhere. You don't like your wife, you're not going anywhere. You don't like your neighbors like next door, you will not succeed if you're looking to succeed. If you don't like the person next to you, we have to learn to work together because teamwork makes the dream. And we can only learn to work together if we are aware, we create self-awareness to even come into terms that you're not a part of the community. If you're not a part of the community, then you're left out. We need to be truthful. Most of us are not honest with ourselves. We live a life where we are living a lie because social media made it worse. Social media is going to make you think you belong when you actually do not belong. Social media is very deceptive. It will make you think Penny is here for me. Penny is not in your local community. She's in USA. You're in Nyandoche Ibere. So and so, your followers, your likes, people who are saying all these things, those people are not important to you as much as you think they are. They are, but the people that you live with in your house are the most important people. You have to have something inside you that is going to talk to you and tell you that you know what, you're not doing well. You need to step up. Be truthful to yourself that you're not living well with the people that are living with you, or you're not part of the community where you are. Why? You have to come into terms. We know we make mistakes. We have to accept that, you know what, this is where we are. Create that hope. Be someone who's hopeful that, you know what, I can get this done. Don't give up. Encourage yourself and be honest and say, you know what, with time I can overcome this. You have to talk to yourself. I say some days I wake up, I feel great. Some days I wake up, I feel defeated, because you know what? All of us have good days and bad days. But you can't just give in and don't be a part of the community because you feel defeated. You have to really talk to yourself, because you know what? I said, when it's all said and done, the people that matter most to you are the people that are right here. If I fall, this person right here is going to pick me. The person that is 1,000 miles away is not going to pick me. Tell yourself that I know I can make it, that I know I can change this. Remind yourself, money is not going to solve all the problems. Money can help your life to be simple, but there are problems that money cannot solve, but the community can solve those problems. It's not always about that money. And finally, we talk about the secret. The secret to life, a good life, is giving. If you give negative, you get negative. If you give positive, you get positive. Try as much as you can. Remind yourself as often as you can that your goal in life, or your purpose in life, is to try as much as you can to be someone that people can want to be around, to be someone that people miss and pick the phone and call you, to be someone that doesn't belittle people. When you meet people, you put them down, to be someone that people look forward to come to you and hang out with you. By the time they leave, you've learned something from them. Not this person, every time you meet them, all they have to say is things about people. There are people whose focus is always, they get a high from putting people down, talking down on people. That is, you have to tell yourself you don't want to be that person. See good in others. This past weekend, I said this earlier in my video, I met 2 guys in Delaware while I was out there. And we sat with my husband. And we had such a healthy conversation. They were total strangers. We spoke about the book, Think and Grow Rich. We spoke about travel. We spoke about investments. We spoke about marriage. The only person I knew was my husband, and then they knew each other. We sat there for hours until the neighbor came to tell us to move. But we had such a healthy conversation because they were also knowledgeable of the things that we want to talk about. So if you meet people that you have something in common that is not talking about people, you'll feel, when you leave a place, you're going to feel like you've learned 1 or 2 things. And we agreed that, you know what, we want to start investing in other countries. Because you know what, the opportunities are there, people are traveling more. So that is the secret. You have to be a desirable person that people look forward to spend time with you. When I sit to spend time with people, when I'm done, I ask myself, what did I learn? How did I spend my time? Do things that are going to inspire people. Do things that are going to educate people. If you have a skill, and each one of us has a very good skill that the other person doesn't have. You could be a good cook, whatever you are. Teach someone your skill if you can, or share your skill. People are willing to learn. Above all, for us to have good communities, do things that bring people together. Don't do things that cause division among people. Always remember your goal is to bring people together. That is the message I have, and that's what I try to preach. Always, always do things that when you're going to look back, you're going to say that, you know what, I'm glad I did this. You're going to look back and say, you know what, oh, I'm glad I made that decision. Had I not made that decision, my life could have not been where it is. I came into consciousness and said, you know what, I need to change. I need to start talking. I came into consciousness. I said, you know, I need to talk to myself. So when I talk to myself, I talk to you. On Monday, when I set my goals, I try to talk to you. On Tuesday, when I talk about regular life things, challenges, because that's the day I'm going for self-development, I'm talking to you. On Wednesday, when I'm talking about gratitude, I'm talking to you. I'm telling you, remember to be grateful. On Thursday, when I talk about procrastination, I have so many things here that I need to do that it's not even funny. I'm talking to you. On Friday today, when I talk about self-care, I'm talking to you. Take care of yourself. Tomorrow, I'm going to go do my business, entrepreneurship. When I'm talking about entrepreneurship, I'm reminding you that you know what, you can also start your business. Tomorrow is my business day. Tomorrow is my earning day. I'm looking forward. I'm preparing. So when I do that, I'm talking to you. And on Sunday, when I'm plugging in my spirituality, when I'm going to my church, I'm speaking to you. I'm saying, hey, where are you? That's why we have to be grateful for social media. Social media is a platform that we have been given so we can use it to grow ourselves, not to destroy people, not to troll people, not to spend so much time on social media. You stop what you're doing and you put all your energy on social media. Don't do that. You're destroying yourself. You're watching people who have already, they are called high achievers. Take a minute and try to focus on your own achievements. What have you done? Where after you've finished doing whatever you're doing is when you can come. Look at your portfolio. How does it look like? What does your bank account look like? What does your health look like? So finally, for those of you who have not heard about Juice Plus, is food in a capsule. We have a promotion going on until the end of the month. If you're interested, I think we're about, I have to get those countries next time so I can read them because my page is global. You can sign up for free until the end of the month. And if you sign up and you're an adult, when you get your food, your children also get the food at a discount. So reach out to me on my inbox and we'll work together. Please be mindful what you feed your mind, what you feed your soul, and how you spend your time. Thank you for watching. Thank you. And I truly, truly appreciate your support. Share this video and invite someone next time. We come here every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you've not liked my page, please do that. And if you've not followed me, do that. If you want to give me stars, I'll appreciate. Yeah, I see you can give me stars. I'll appreciate your support because you know what? The give and take situation works very, very well, right? Have a lovely, lovely weekend and make a conscious decision to live the moment. Don't wait until you die to start living. You don't know what happens when you die. Live the moment right now. Have a lovely weekend.